this up. So
Yeah,
the first thing we're going to do though is a little warm up just to kind of get the joints moving, get the muscles going. So you can do it seated if we're sitting, or we can also do it standing up. So if you're standing, let's stay standing. If you're seated, let's perform seated. Okay. So first and foremost, you guys should be able to see me here. We're just going to work top down initially to warm up. So those of you that have done this with me or with Craig or Jordan or Greg or whoever it is that you've been working with on this, we typically do a little warm up for full body. So first thing we're going to do is some neck circles here, nice and easy. I'm a physical therapist, so don't push through pain. You can go up to that, work with what your range is. Let's do 10 circles clockwise, 10 counterclockwise. Again, don't push through pain. If you got a lot of Rice Krispies popping in your neck, let's not aggravate that too much.
yeah, I was wondering why I have Rice Krispies in my neck.
Yeah, that's usually some arthritic changes and stuff like that, and we all tend to kind of have something like that. All right, and then when you're done with those, let's get into some scapular rolls. So we're going to take the shoulder blades, we're going to roll them back 10 times backwards, up and down, and then 10 times forwards, up and down, just big circles through the shoulder blades. Good. Now I'm kind of watching about 4 of you on this screen. So based on that, when you guys slow down and stop, I'll move on to the next one. All right, guys. So on this next one, let's open up the chest a bit. So you're going to take your hands out in front of you and just kind of open it up like an L. And then from there, you go up towards the ceiling. And back down. Open it up, pinch the shoulder blades back. I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. I thought I was muted. If my doorbell's ringing, I was yelling at my husband. Let me mute. I'll go get them.
That's all good. It happens. This is life. All right. Open them up. Pinch the shoulder blades. Reach up. Let's get 10 of those. Looking good. Nice. All right, so next thing here, let's get a little trunk rotation going. So if you're seated, what I want you to do is work on twisting over your shoulder, looking over your right shoulder as far as you can, nice and easy. And then reach to the left side, same thing. If you're standing, you can do the same thing. Just work on keeping this hand facing forward, and you twist as much as you can to your left, come back. Twist as much as you can to your right, okay? If it's safe to stand, let's do it standing. If you'd rather do it seated, go for it. Let's get 5 times to each side. Good job. All right, let's move into a little bit of the hips. So if you're standing and you want to hold on to something for balance, you can. Let's work on just doing a little bit of a march. For those of you that are seated, we can do a hip flexion march and sitting without your spine supported. So don't let your back be on that chair. Just nice and easy. Let's get 10 of those. We're just getting the quads and the hip flexors and core activated a bit here.
I am lifting my legs up.
That's okay. You got to do what you got to do. Try to do as much as you can without assistance from your hands. But if you have to do that, go for it.
Yeah. Left side, I can't do anything without my hands. Right side, a couple inches.
Got it. All right. So on the next one, let's do ankle pumps up and down. So you're working on flexing the toes down. into the ground, lifting the heels, and then pull the toes up, drive the heels into the ground, back and forth, 10 of those. And then we'll do some ankle circles, left and right and left for both legs.
What about for those who can't move their legs?
So for those of you that can't move your legs, let's get you back into doing more with the arms and the elbows. So we can certainly do wrists and rolls and through there. We didn't do much with the wrist. We kind of incorporated them with the reach. So you can do it through the hands and through there. And if you want to do, if you've got mobility through both wrists and ankles, go for it. You can do it all at the same time. All right, and then next thing is kind of the full body piece. So if you're able to go to a standing position from a seated position, let's work on doing up and down 10 times from the chair. For those of you that can't stand and are staying in the chair, see if you can work on doing 10 presses of lifting your bottom up as much as you can off the chair. If that's hard for you, just work on doing extension through the elbows to get just as much of a lift as you can. But if you can stand up, let's get 10 stands. And try, if you can do it without using the hands, try to not use the hands. If you have to use the hands for balance, go for it. I'm scrolling through here, watching what everybody's doing.
Just using my hands to protect my knees.
Yep, got it.
The knees don't like these.
Yeah,
No
so if this is
liking.
if it's bothersome to your knees, just utilize your hands for support, okay?
Knees no likey these.
All right, guys. So moving into what we're here for, which is more of the resistance band piece. So first thing we're going to do is have that resistance band anchored somewhere around waist height, whether you're sitting or you're standing, it doesn't matter. I want it kind of located between mid-thigh and rib cage, somewhere in there, this range.
Don't know if I can do that. Let's see people.
All right, so the first thing that we're gonna do is you're actually gonna face that anchor point, you're where it's attached, okay? So we're gonna do a one-armed row, and we're gonna emphasize the twist. So if you can take a look at me here, I'm facing where it's attached. I'm gonna grab that and pull back with the band with one arm, all right? And then I'm gonna let it pull me forward and twist, and then you twist the opposite direction. Okay? If you can do this standing, please do so. Stagger your feet, twist with each pull. Okay? Once you've got 10, move to the other side. Jane, can you turn your chair to face the anchor point?
Oh, yeah, I can try it. I was having trouble getting it hooked on there, so I was missing part of the instructions, but thank you.
So that looks good, Bonnie. You don't need to rotate both ways there though, Bonnie. So just work on the row pulling back and then back to the anchor starting point and back through there. We'll switch hands. Donna, it's hard for me to see where your elastic is. Your camera just doesn't totally capture it. There we go. Yeah, so face your anchor and just let your arm extend forward and twist. Twist with the, yeah, good. So get 10 that way and then switch hands, or you guys can alternate if you need. We're doing 2 sets of 10. So either way, let's get 10 with each side and then repeat it again to get total of 20 on each side. That looks good, Orlinda. Susan looks good. Maybe just lock your wheelchair if you can, so you're not scooting around too much. Is it Josie? Is it my
Josie. Yeah.
Josie? Are you doing
Josie.
okay here? Do you have
I-
bands to?
I have bands. I don't know if it's, I don't know where to anchor it. I'm just looking at how people are doing it. So
Is it possible for you to tie that band onto a door handle or something?
yeah, probably, yeah.
If
Mine
that's
is
an
on the
option.
door handle.
Okay.
Looking good, guys.
Okay. So comme ça.
All right,
hein?
for those of you that are still going, go for it. We're gonna move on to the next one because a few of you are finished. Now we're going to face perpendicular to that anchor point. You're not looking at it anymore. You're facing 90 degrees away from it. What we're gonna do, if you're standing, you're gonna grab that band, that handle, and you're gonna press your hands away from your belly button so your arms are straightened out. The anchor point's over there, so this band is pulling me towards it. I'm resisting that, okay? So there's no twist happening. We're just pressing out. You're resisting that rotation. Both hands, you can do this seated with your back not supported on the chair, or you can do it standing. 2 sets of 10. There you go. Looks good, Bonnie. Looks good, Scott. Looks good, Jane. Looks good, Donna. Keep those hands in front of the belly button. Don't let them move.
Okay.
Josie, that looks good. Susan looks
Okay.
good. Orlinda looks good. All right. So get 2 sets of 10 on each side. And then once it looks like the majority of us are moving through that, we'll move on to the next one here. Please remember to breathe. When doing core exercises, we often hold our breath, and that's actually detrimental. Good job, guys. Where you should be feeling this is within your internal and external obliques and within your abs. We may not be getting there yet until we, increase the resistance or with more reps, but it shouldn't be felt predominantly in the arms. We should be feeling this in your core, or if you want to call it your flank, whatever term you want to use. 2 sets of 10 facing each direction. Remember to breathe. Some of you are finished up a little early. If you want to get some extra credit in, go for it. We're going to let the others finish up here in about 1 minute.
Turning in this space doesn't work too well.
Yeah, I know. We ran into that last time.
So I'm just gonna switch arms off when I'm doing
Yeah.
both to the
You
front.
go for it. All right. It looks like the majority of us have finished up or we're on our 3rd round. So we're going to take what we just did. We're going to build off of it. So before you were doing the press, well, now we're going to do the press, but then twist away from that anchor point. You rotate and then you come back and then twist again. Okay, it's a press, twist, twist back to your starting point, relax. Press, twist, twist, back to the starting point. Okay, so you get 2 twists essentially with each rep. And you're gonna do that 2 sets of 10 each way. Looks good, Scott. Bonnie, that looks good. Exhale as you press out. Inhale as you're getting started for your next rep. Looks good, Jane. Donna looks good. Try and make sure that there's resistance the whole time, guys. So if you're not far away, if possible, with constraints of your room, if you can make sure that there's resistance the whole time, that's going to be beneficial.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm sorry.
You're doing okay though. I was watching. So you press out your hands away from your belly button and then you twist away. You just twist away from your door. So pull that band away from the door
Okay.
and turn 90 degrees, Josie. You're now twist away. Twist towards me, towards your camera.
Okay.
Yep. Twist that band towards your camera, towards me. There you go.
And then what?
Nice job, guys.
Not sure.
Okay, you guys done. Scott, looks like you're done. Susan, you just switched. All right, we'll give it another minute here, guys. Remember to breathe. If you want to get in another set, go for it. Good.
That's how you do, man.
Nice job. Okay. We're going to come back and we'll probably get another round of these as well. So if you're not getting the full sets of 2 sets of 10 in, that's okay. Well, you'll catch up. So the next thing we're going to move into is we're building off of this as well. So this is all about rotation and anti-rotation. So for those of you that are good with the alphabet, we're going to spell the alphabet here with our hands, okay? So this is building off of what we're doing. You're going to, if you're standing, get in a slight little knee bend if possible. Press your hands out like we've been doing. But here, you're then going to spell the alphabet with your hands. Now, this may look like a shoulder exercise, but ultimately, you're engaging your core the whole time that you're doing this. All right, so you're pressing out perpendicular to where that is anchored. So it's trying to pull you here. You're not letting it. You're keeping it here, spelling the alphabet. All right. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath. Let's do the alphabet facing one direction, and then we'll do it facing the other direction. And Orlinda, you're on a ball, right?
Yes.
Okay. If you want to make that more challenging on yourself, you could certainly try and lift one leg, but I don't want you to hurt yourself. Yeah, and try and keep the letters of the alphabet small. The smaller you keep them, the harder it is. Remember to breathe. Looks good, Bonnie. Jane, good. Scott, good. It's like we're writing in cursive and it's kind of like a foreign language now. They don't even teach it anymore.
Yeah.
On a side note, I wrote a letter from Santa to my kids in cursive because they couldn't figure out what the words were. So they thought it was some special language from Santa.
This is great. This is harder than it looks.
Yeah, these are
like it.
harder than. Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Mhm. I don't know.
Good job, guys. Keep it going. Looks like you're all still working. If you do finish up and you want more, then just start the alphabet over again. Good job. I hear lots of grunting. That's good.
Maybe.
Yep. Breathe, breathe, breathe.
That's a good one.
You like it?
Yeah.
I'm not
I
sure I
like
got
it
it.
too.
I got
I'm
work to
sorry.
do.
Who said I'm not? Was Josie? Was that you that said you didn't get it?
But I don't think I get it.
Well, your resistance might be really hard. I can't tell. It looks like a purple band. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. I have that for a long time, and I don't know where it comes from.
Right. So maybe, Josie, if you can just scoot closer, so maybe it's not quite as much resistance.
Okay, but
And-
then I
and-
don't work.
Yeah,
I
well
don't-
then just try it so that there's just a little bit of tension on it. That's
Okay.
the anchor. So I'm not looking at it. Yeah, there you go. And you press your hands out and maintain that as you spell the alphabet. Or draw circles or boxes or whatever you want. That looks better.
Mhm.
Okay. How we doing?
Good. It's very interesting, but I'm sorry, I have to go.
Okay.
But each class, it's my first time. Each class are different from what I can see, right? Dan?
Yep. So
Yeah,
some
okay.
class, you got it. Some classes are more emphasis on stretching. Some are more emphasis on weights and free weights. Others use bands, body weight, you name it.
Right, okay. 'Cause-
All right. Take care, Josie.
Thank you. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
All right,
Bye.
guys. So it looks like most of us are finished here. So I'm going to present a challenge here for those of you that want to do it. So it builds off of what we just were doing. And then if it looks not feasible, then I'll give you a modification for it. So we're going to go off of that press that we just had with knees bent. Okay. For those of you that want to and can, we want to do a little bit of a knee bend and maintain that pressure. Where you should be set up is that this is really, really hard for you to maintain in your core to keep that engaged, okay? If that is not feasible, then I want you to do the same thing seated. Try and lift up one leg seated, all right? And maintain your hands there as you're doing that. Removing one foot and only having one leg on the ground makes it a lot harder to be able to stabilize. Another modification is press out so that it's really hard for you to maintain that hold, and just raise your arms up and then raise your arms down, but don't let them come out of midline. Either way, I want you to shoot for 10 and then change directions. Good, guys. Susan, you all right?
I don't know what to do because I don't move my legs.
All right, so yeah, so the last piece to that is we're not moving the legs, so then do a press out and have your chair positioned out that it's really hard for you to hold this. So you might need to scoot away. And if you have to scoot away, scoot further away. And then what I want you to do is just work on a slow up and down. The higher you go up, it's going to hit your upper abdominal wall below your rib cage. And when you go lower, it's going to involve a bit more of your shoulders, but then your obliques. There you go. Keep the arms straight as possible. Don't let the elbows bend. Good. And Donna, if you want to, you can also hold it out there in a squat. So go ahead and squat down, Donna. Hold it there. Now step away. Do lateral side steps away from that. Yeah, there. That'll make it harder. The further you step out, the harder it'll be to hold. Scott, you're welcome to try that. Just remember the challenges of being on that one leg, okay?
It is a challenge.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna give you it's gonna be very challenging. Bonnie, how you doing? Okay. Or Linda, you look like you're doing pretty well with it.
Till I
Jeez.
try to move it, then I'm.
Yeah. Yeah. Just don't go flying off the ball, okay?
Yeah,
Susan, bring the hands in towards midline a little bit more. There you go. All right, I'll give you guys another minute here working on those. Catch your breath if you're done. If you want, and you got the time and we're done, we're going to take that anchor point and move it up higher. So about head height or above if possible. So give yourself a few minutes to adjust that anchor if you can. If you can't, it's okay. But we're going to try some high to low chops and a high to low row, 2 different variations with that band being higher up. We'll give you a couple more minutes here, guys. If you don't mind, if you do, let's just say done if you've got it anchored up higher.
done.
Okay. Scott, did you get it up higher at all?
I got it up high.
Donna,
I
did
can
you
only
get it on
put it on
top?
my doorknob.
I'm sorry?
I can only put it on my doorknob. I don't have higher.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well,
I've got it
that's
up high
fine.
now.
What's that?
I'm saying I've got it up high now.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. So for those of you that can, if you have a sliding door or a door jamb and you can open up the door and shut it on the door and the door's not going to open on you, that's an option too. It's ideally put in a door that's not opening towards you. That gets a little, in case somebody opens the door, you don't want to get slapped in the face by the band. All right. So for those
Should
of
the
you that
band
were
be
able to
doubled? Should the
I'm
band
sorry?
be doubled?
doubled, you
Short
could, it's just gonna,
to
if you
double?
double, it's gonna double your resistance. So it's gonna make it harder on you.
My lighter
But-
weight one on and double it. That'll be
If you-
okay.
If you can't anchor it up higher, we'll make do, we'll modify
Yeah, I
it, all
can.
right? Okay. All right, so I'm gonna demonstrate a couple variations on this. We're gonna do high to low chops, all right? So it's very similar to what we were doing before, but now the angle at which we do it is a little different. So you're gonna grab that band. You can grab the handle if you want, okay? Or you can grab the tubing itself with both hands, palms facing down, okay? Either way, you're gonna pull from a higher position across your body down to a lower position. So if you're standing, you're basically coming up to shoulder or head height and reaching and twisting down towards hip height. If you're seated, similarly, you're reaching up towards shoulder height if you can, and then pulling and reaching down. My feet are slipping on the floor here because it's too slippery, down across your thigh. These are called high to low chops. All
Do you
right.
lean forward? Do you lean forward as you do that, or do you stay vertical?
If you're seated, lean forward to get that full trunk activation.
Thank you.
If you're standing, you can stay upright. And you should still be facing perpendicular to the anchor. So you're facing 90 degrees away from it. Exhale on the twist into the resistance. Inhale as you come back. Good. Looks good, Scott. I'm trying to check in with all of you. Donna, looks good.
Work, it's not working.
Susan, looks good. Bonnie, looks good. Orlinda, good. Just slow it down, Orlinda. Don't go quite that fast. Feel it in that core, in the muscles within your abdominals. You slow it down, you'll feel it more. Good. Key thing with this is don't, if you're feeling low back pain with this, let me know and take a break. Nice job, guys. We got about 10 minutes left, not quite. So once you've done one round of those, or if you've gotten your 2 sets of 10, either way, take a breather, catch your breath, and repeat. Looking good, guys. Orlinda, try and stay more upright. There you go. We want to hinge at the hip, not round too much. Good. There. Yes. Good. Everybody's still going. Nice job. If you've done these right and you had the right resistance involved, your abs should hurt you a little bit when you laugh tomorrow. And with abdominal exercises like this, these can be done every other day. All right, so now we're going to expand upon that row that we did in the beginning, the one-armed row. Make sure you got yourself oriented correctly. You're facing the anchor point now, so it's not perpendicular. If you're standing or seated, either way, now it's a high to low row as you twist away from the anchor point. Allow it to twist you back slowly, and then twist back, pull, tuck that shoulder blade in towards your spine. You're trying to keep that shoulder blade back against your spine. All right, if you're standing, similarly, if you can stack your feet.
Sorry.
Okay. Working on twisting away from that anchor point as you pull your shoulder blade back against the spine. Let's get 10 with the right arm and then 10 with the left arm. So just one arm here at a time there, Susan. Here, Susan, if you can see this. So you should be facing your anchor with your, if you're holding it with your left hand, you're pulling your left elbow along your side, pinching your shoulder blade back against your spine. As if you're like pulling a door open. There you go. That looks good, Susan. Orlinda looks good. Good trunk rotation. Bonnie looks good. Scott, good. You don't have to turn the head quite if you don't want to. You can keep your eyes on the anchor point. Donna, good. Stagger your feet, Donna, if you can. Can you put one foot in front of the other and actually go into like a slight bend of both knees? And you hold that squat. There you go. Jane, good. I don't know if Sydney's there or not. Good. So get 10 on each side, take a break.
Oh,
and then do 10 on the other side, or 10 on each side again. You're trying to get 2 sets of 20 here.
2 sets
Remember
of
to
20
breathe.
or 1 set of 20?
I'm sorry?
2 sets of 20 or 1 set of 20?
Well, eventually 2 sets. So take a break in between. I think each of you are probably doing 2 sets of 10 or something like that on each side. Breathe.
Yeah, that's what I
We'll
did,
do-
20 on each side.
Yep. So breathe, and then let's repeat. Keep the elbows in close to your rib cage as you're pulling. Try not to flare out. Looks good, Susan. Nice. Good. Breathe. And we got one last little cool down, so to speak. So we'll be done with the resistance once you guys finish these up. We got a little quick stretch at the end just to kind of facilitate the motion we just worked on.
Thanks for working on my paddle sport muscles.
What's that?
Thanks for working on my paddle sport muscles.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, this is great for kayaking, stand-up paddle, dragon boat, you name it.
Yep. Gotta get in shape for Worlds. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I would love to join you on that. I don't think I get the opportunity. I've got some camps up here in Illinois that I got to run, but
Yeah.
you
I'm
guys
one
are
of the
going to have a
members.
great time.
Yeah. I'm one of the team members that went to Florida last September and get to go to Florida again this summer. So
All right. Well,
Nice.
best of luck.
yeah, I'm psyched about that.
Yeah. All right, guys. So last thing here, we're going to go back to kind of what we did. It's kind of called like bow and arrow. So whether you do it seated or standing, extend both hands out in front of you. You're going to slide the palm of one hand along your forearm, along the arm, reach back, look at your hands, keeping this hand forward, twist at your trunk. So if you're standing or seated, keep your legs facing forward. You're twisting your spine over it. Either direction, try and get 10 of them, okay? And that'll be it for us. You might notice that you're locked up facing one way versus the other way, and we often have some curvature in our spine that you may not be aware of. Try and have your eyes follow your fingertips. That'll get your head moving the right way. Nice job, guys. Okay, looking good. All right.